To combat climate change, companies need to look beyond reducing their own emissions. Partnerships are becoming the cornerstone of innovation for sustainability and energy efficiency.
Working with your entire ecosystem is fundamental.
No one on our own can move the needle on this one.
Digitalization and automation will be a key lever overall.
And all the supply chains around the world have a big role to play.
To reach net zero goals, companies need to decarbonize entire value chains, from supply to demand, including end markets.
We estimated between 10 to 15 gigatons of CO2 that needs to be carved out on a yearly basis by 2030 in order to achieve that 1.5 limit. To face all that, we need to work together, engaging both with our customers on one side and our suppliers on the other.
So in the overall evaluation of the emissions in a company, the suppliers play a very big role. It could be up to 90% or even more, depending on the business model you are in. So a close relationship to your supplier to reduce the overall CO2 emission is very important.
We believe in the power of collaboration, upstream and downstream, to develop new innovations for a better and more connected, sustainable future.
I could even argue that there's going to be no responsible sustainable operations if we don't embrace advanced manufacturing and digital technologies fully, and if we are not able to share those technologies, use cases and applications across all players who are part of every value chain.
At Schneider Electric, we are engaging with 1,000 of the most important suppliers in order to divide by 2 their carbon emission.
Usually those suppliers are more small, medium-sized company. They don't have the knowledge, they don't have the technology. So we are basically designing a program to make sure that they can have access to the same type of capability that we have in our companies.
Neon Network is a cloud platform where companies like us, companies like our suppliers, companies like our customers will be able to find valuable information, be able to find trainings, being able to compare and benchmark, being able to learn about how, I would say, each corporation is driving this journey of decarbonization.
And next-generation automation can be a catalyst for supply chain decarbonization.
We do this by decarbonizing their processes or consulting them how they can reach their own CO2 targets. Knowing how the process is working, knowing how we can optimize together is key. So the more data you have, the more, let's say, qualified decisions you can make. You have automation, which is optimizing and helping to improve the process. And in the end, you are saving energy, which brings you to a more sustainable process.
Underpinning this technology is accurate, complete data, enabling transparency, accelerating decision-making, and driving results.
Data is crucial to drive any digitization journey forward.
It can be used real-time, so that you apply real-time data and say immediately, now I need to adopt my process. Or you can do it over the time, where you collect even more data, and then after some time you make the decision, based on these behaviors, I can optimize overall my parameters and then get a higher productivity out of it.
That data becomes very valuable, not only for the client itself who has the data, who's the owner of the data, but also others. And we're moving into how data is shared in an ecosystem so people can help each other to improve their operations.
And this drive for innovation is seeing like-minded companies uniting to empower sustainable transformation.
The collaboration and partnerships with companies who can complement you is more important than ever. So one good example that we have in industrial automation is our partnership with AVEVA.
AVEVA provide, I would say, software solutions that we are plugging directly on our processes, on our machines, on our equipment, being able to understand, how we can drive efficiency out of our processes.
Many times we come to clients also where data may not be available, or where there is an expansion, where you need the combination of deployments at the edge and then software. Schneider calls this eco-structure they're offering it, but it does require technology that is there to a certain extent at Schneider, and that's also there to a certain extent at AVEVA. The client does not necessarily care who's who. He wants to have a problem solved, and that's where we're working closely together.
Digital technology is driving decarbonization across the full length of the value chain, from supply to demand, including end markets, where Schneider's wiser solution can empower more sustainable homes of the future.
In the field of the home of the future, so you would have more electrical, greener sources of energy supply, and decarbonize the demand by using electrical loads on one side. On the other side, use digital as an instrument of energy visibility and optimization. At Schneider Electric, we call it WISER, so a very simple system, very easy to use, that actually takes all the complexities that are behind the wall to make sure that for any user, energy will be simply and reliably available, and that's actually available today.
Real estate developer Ecolocost have incorporated this new technology across a series of homes, delivering substantial energy and cost saving. Each property has 6 solar panels installed on the rooftop, which communicate directly with WISER. A 20-year projection for the site estimates around 30,000 euros in energy savings. While data can be used to drive sustainable change, exponential growth in data collection means the need to design more sustainable data centers has never been greater.
If you see even personally the degree to which, we use internet for tax forms, travel, banking, shopping, whatever it be. And on a greater scale, it's across industries, be it retail, government. So of course, it's crucial that we're resilient and that uptime is high. It's just as important, I think, that as we're delivering that capability, that we do it in a sustainable way. Be it the use of our land, the use of power, the use of water. We design for energy efficiency, and then we operate according to that design, and that we measure and we're transparent towards that. And then we look into the types of power that supply our grid, so that the power that we use is green. So that means data center of the future, I think, a smaller footprint. The degree of innovation that is started right now, I think, is quite exciting. Schneider is a customer of ours, and actually also a supplier, as in Schneider supplies a lot of electrical equipment, some of which we use within our data centers. But what I appreciate the most is I believe we're companies with the same values, particularly when it comes to sustainability, so we enjoy working together. Schneider has a building information model, M2 it's called, that can work on a virtual digital twin of a construction site. So being able to virtually model our construction sites as we build our data centers and have that model available in advance allows us and our engineering and construction team to work around the table to optimize materials of construction to reduce our carbon footprint, optimize our waste as we go, and enable us be more efficient and also more aware, for example, of our embodied carbon and where we may need to focus on going forward.
Companies need to collaborate and share skills and technologies like never before if we are to create a more sustainable future.
Partnering is very important because the world is really evolving very fast, and you cannot do everything by yourself.
At Schneider Electric, we've always believed in partnership, and we believe that those ecosystems will be absolutely central into this massive challenge.
How can we work with our broader ecosystem to jointly create value for our customers? I think that's the biggest mindset change that companies are going through today.
The passion is there, and the passion is building, and the necessity is becoming clear. And I see the rate of technology development is increasing.
The willingness is there, everyone is taking pledge, everyone is taking commitments. Now we need to move extremely fast because the clock is ticking.
Companies are uniting to deliver innovation, cutting-edge solutions, and sustainable transformation. There are challenges ahead, the hard-to-abate sectors of industry and manufacture, and rising population and urbanization continue to exacerbate emissions from the built environment. The good news is that the technology and know-how exists today to help businesses on their journey to a net zero carbon future.